Antes, welcome to Video Notes. So today, hoy vamos a hablar de los verbos saber y conocer. So, hay dos verbos que quieren decir to know in español. So there are two verbs to know in Spanish. So, como siempre, la fecha, please write whichever date is correct for you. For me es 11, 26, 18 y saber y conocer. En español, hay dos verbos que quieren decir to know. So just like Spanish has two verbs to be, ser y estar, tenemos también also saber y conocer. And just like ser y estar, they have different ways of being used. However, before we go into how they're being used, let's take a look at one conjugated, then usage, and then the other one conjugated, and then usage. Now, hopefully you all remember when we did the yo-go verbs, like oigo and hago and vengo, and all those verbs that had go for the yo forms. And remember we talked about how they weren't horribly irregular verbs. Same thing right here. These both have irregular yo forms. The rest of the verb, no problem, no problema, es completamente regular. Okay? So, saber. To know. Now this one you use specifically if you know a fact or if you know how to do something. Fact, how to do, blah, blah, blah. Okay? Now this one also has an irregular yo form, then the rest of the verb is completely regular. So, es un verbo er. So normally what we would do is we would drop the er, which is exactly what we're going to do here, and then add the correct endings according to the subject. So the first thing we're going to do is to give you the yo form, and then the rest of the verb is completely regular. So we have the 6 forms, and this form, because it's irregular, I'll write it in red, is se. So if I ask you a question in class and you don't know the answer, you can say, no sé, I don't know. And you may indeed have heard this before. The rest of this verb is conjugated completely regularly according to the rules of ER verbs. What I would like you to do right now is to pause this video, go into your notes to the little flip book about verb conjugations, and conjugate the rest of this verb. I'll wait for you. And we're back. So you should have come up with sabes, sabe, sabemos, sabéis, and saben. Now remember, whether you put in sabéis or a smiley face, when you have the vosotros form of a verb, it has an accent over the ending. The accent here is over the E because it's an ER verb. If this was an AR verb, the accent is over the A. Now let's take a look at how we use these in a sentence. So Justin, let's give him a compliment today. Justin sabe correr. He knows how to run. Es rápido. Justin es muy, muy rápido. Yo no soy rápida para nada. Una tortuga es más rápida que yo. So, yeah, a turtle's faster than I am. So, Cassie no sabe patinar en línea. Cassie does not know how to inline skate. So, this is where you put the negative. It's before the verb. Now, you'll notice there are 2 verbs here, sabe and correr. Sabe and patinar. The first verb is conjugated. The second verb, yeah, leave it alone. If it doesn't end with the letter R, you're doing it wrong. Okay, now, the other verb that we need to talk about, that means to know, is the verb conocer. Conocer. Now in this case, this is to know, and it's not to know how to do something or to know a fact, it's to know a person or be familiar with a place. To know a person or be familiar with a place. Okay. So the deal here with this one is it's a very simple verb. It's not too difficult. And like saber, it has an irregular yo form, but the rest of the verb is completamente regular. So I will give you the first form, which is conozco, conozco. Remember, we have the go verbs. Well, this one's just a little bit different. It's a co-verb. Now, the rest of the conjugations are completely regular. What I want you to do is to fill them in, and I will wait for you. And we're back. You should have gotten for your conjugations. Conoces, conoce, conocemos, conocéis, or a smiley face, and conocen. Okay? And again, the vosotros form has an accent. Where is the accent? That's right, it's over the E. Why is there an accent over the E? Yes, it's an ER verb. Good job. Now, how do I use this in a sentence? Well, if I take my students, let's say that Paige knows Sam. Okay. So we have página, conoce, a Sam. Okay. So Paige knows Sam. Now you'll notice this little a, and I did write it in another color. The deal there is that's called the personal a. And what that means in a sentence is that, hey, there's a person coming after this. Hello, there's a person. It's the personal a. Some verbs like conocer, buscar, encontrar, they take this personal a in front of a person's name or a person, like if we just said Paige knows that boy, then that boy would have a personal a in front of it because it's a person. So how about if somebody knew a place? How about Becca? And Becca is familiar with Winchendon. I mean, for the most part, you folks live here. You kind of know how to get around. So, Becca conoce Winchendon. Winchendon. Okay. And that's a place, so it does not need a personal a. Why? Because it's not a person. And if you were to make this negative, you would make it negative exactly the same way that we made saber negative by putting in a no right in front of the verb. So, página no conoce a Sam is that Paige does not know Sam. That's it. That is the difference between saber and conocer. They both mean to know. Saber is to know how to do something or to know a fact. And conocer is to know a person or to be familiar with a place. Both of them have irregular yo forms. Both of them are completely regular except for the yo forms. The only thing you need to remember is that conocer has an a if you're talking about people after the verb. Okay? Adios.